Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another week of Guys Night here on the podcast. I am your host, Doc, and I'm here with my co-host, Talon.
Hello.
How are you today, sir?
I am fantastic, Doc. Thank you very much. I am having myself a good old Coke and whiskey here in my little cup. And for those of you who don't know, Doc also has a shot glass right in front of him.
I'm getting ready for this, man.
He's getting
we are
excited.
here to get all ready for the whole podcast. Ain't that right?
Yeah. Oh, yep. So tonight, guys, we have several subjects that we're going to be going on to, but we're going to kick it off with our favorite topic, one of our favorite topics, which is cigars and the love of cigars, the hobby of cigars, the taste of our favorite cigars, so on and so forth. And before we go on, Doc is going to give us a good old boot to the chest by shooting us off with the shot glass full of, what is that again? Jameson.
Jameson. I think it's what? Jameson Black? Black?
Yeah, Jameson Black. Yeah, Jameson Black. That's right.
It's not that bad of whiskey. But anyway, past the teeth, over the gums, look out stomach, here she comes.
And that's where I'd puke.
That's good whiskey. Talon can't really drink that whiskey straight.
No, I cannot.
Anyway, get your whiskey, get your cigar or pipe, and get ready to just hang out here on Guys Night, because we're kicking off another week. Let's roll.
So how you feeling after that shot, Doc?
It hasn't hit me yet, but the night is still young.
I doubt it will. The boy weighs 130-something pounds, and everything just goes right through him like, well, water, not whiskey. But and whiskey goes through like water, like he drank nothing. So we'll see how it affects him.
Well, I mean, you know how it goes for me. 1 minute I'm perfectly fine. The next minute
He used to never know his limit, but now he started to know his limit.
Yeah.
But that's topic for another day.
Yes, that's a topic for another day.
Anyways, so we're talking about our favorite cigars, our cigar hobby, and everything like that. Everything we love about cigars. And, well, let me just get started off by the story of how I got onto cigars from Ricky. Or from Doc here. Well, Doc, you tell it first, because you were onto cigars before I was. So
Right. So I've been into cigars for a while at this point, and I just, once again, I wanted someone my age that I could smoke with and enjoy a cigar, a friend that would also enjoy it. And
he got me onto this just so he could have someone to smoke with.
I'm a good person,
This
I
very
promise.
expensive hobby that I ended up loving and being addicted to.
I'm a good person, I promise. No, so I just really wanted someone to smoke with my age, and I asked Talion, and I was like, man, why don't you come over to the house? I've got a few cigars. I'll let you choose from them. And I was just like trying to sit for like a week. I was like selling him this idea of cigars. And
he planned the night. Okay, we already like hung out once a month, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And so you were like, how about you come over? We'll have burgers, a beer, and a cigar.
Yeah, pretty much. And
I broke his kitchen table, by the way.
He did. That was funny. We were anyway. So he came over and he brought the beers and I had the cigars, and I cooked burgers, and then after dinner and the beer, we decided to go out on the porch and smoke a cigar. Well, I had just a small bundle of cigars, nothing too fancy. I had maybe like 6 or 7 cigars.
Kept them in his refrigerator, which I later learned, for those of you who are cigar aficionados or wanting to know about the cigar hobby, that's a no-no.
That's a no-no, but if you don't have a humidor, that's the best thing you got. So I didn't have a humidor, so that's what I used. Thanks, Talion, asshole. Anyway, so I had a little bushel of cigars, nothing too fancy, and just like a kid in a candy shop, he chose by color. I said, Tyler, why don't you just come on over here and choose your cigar? The kid's never smoked a cigar before, and I had one in there that looked like I cut a piece of tire off my truck and put it in the Ziploc baggie. That's how dark it was. And he's like, I'll take that one. That one's good. And I just giggled. I just laughed and said, all right, let's go. Got my cigar, and off to the porch we went. And
no, you told me. You told me what it was, but I'll keep going with the story.
Yeah. I said, hey, it's gonna be rough, but all right, if that's. And no, this one looks good. Okay, sure, go right ahead. You die. And so we went on the porch, and I got my normal, like, mild cigar, and we just started smoking. By the time we were done, the kid was buzzed off his ass and green. Because this thing was so long and black, that could be a reference for something else.
Again,
never mind.
It was long and black.
It was long and
hard
black.
Since it was in his refrigerator in the cold. But
at one point it was soft, but now it was hard again.
But for those of you who don't know cigars too well, dark cigars, the ones that you see that are almost black, are called Maduro cigars. Those are going to be the ones that taste more like leather, but they have a high nicotine percentage. So when you smoke that thing,
they're also going to tend to usually be more spicy as well.
Oh yeah, they're going to be very spicy. A lot of them are going to be very spicy. I've tasted some Maduros, like the Olivias.
Mm-hmm.
We have they're kind of
the
on the Maduro sides, and they're not that spicy, but most of them are pretty spicy, and they're for gruff men who like smoking truck tires.
As Joe says, our guy from the tobacco shop, we were like, Joe, what kind of cigars do you smoke? And he's like, truck tires. Yes, sir.
This thing
don't take an opinion from him.
What was it? 7 inches long was that freaking cigar?
The one I gave you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a Churchill.
Yeah, it was a Churchill, man. Those are big cigars. That's the longest cigar, right?
Churchills?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe that's the longest length.
I don't remember the gauge, but it was just a normal gauge.
Yeah, it's just a standard gauge. But we could go on and on talking about tobacco.
We could,
like this.
and about his first experience. It was
walk into a smoke shop with us, and we could give you a whole education on things.
We've been in this one-room smoke shop of ours here in town countless times, and we spend a minimum of 45 minutes in there every time.
Yeah.
How? I don't know. It's kind of like a woman shopping for shoes. Yep, they go on your left. They go on your feet. One goes on the left, one goes on the right. They're pretty much all the same. They just look a little different.
It's true. I mean, it's like a candy store to us. We absolutely love going in there and looking at all the different kinds of cigars that range from what is called the lighter cigars called Connecticut, and it goes up from there, goes on to the, what do you call the middle ones again? Habanas? Or Habanas?
That's a brand.
That is a brand. What is the middle?
Why'd you ask me? I could have told you. I've hit a train. My train of thought just went. That could be the whiskey. We don't know yet.
It starts with an H, though, right?
Oh God, I can't remember.
Oh no. Okay. Maybe we can't give you the best of educations.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
We usually don't smoke those anyway because it's kind of a.
I mean, he likes more of his lighter cigars, and I personally do like the Maduros myself.
I mean, the lighter cigars, the Connecticut's are smoother. They have a lot more
aromatic flavors.
Aromatic, yeah, like nutty.
He likes his aromatics. It's funny because I've kind of noticed with your smoking habit, Tyler, you actually go for more of the aromatic cigars and more of the full flavored pipe tobaccos. which is complete opposite of me. I go for more of the aromatics on pipe tobacco and more of the full flavored, full body cigar.
Well, that's because I've never got tongue bite from a cigar, and so when you get tongue bite from an aromatic in a pipe, I could not be drinking this Coke right now.
Thank you, Summer Delight.
Thank you, Summer Delight.
What a wonderful tobacco.
Yeah, he loves the aromatics and pipes and full flavor cigars. I love the opposite. But yeah, the Connecticut's, they have like nutty. They have some nutty flavors, almond, a lot, just different kinds of very smooth, almost edible flavors.
We're like nutty flavors, leather. You're talking some floral flavors,
but it's very light in the leather compared to
very light, light. A lot of cocoa I've noticed in the Connecticut's as well. But you're gonna get more cocoa from the Maduras as well.
Hey, you remember the Gurkha Omen that we tried that I bought for $13 for like $5?
God. Oh my God! Why'd you have to remind me? Yes, I remember.
Those things were desserts.
That was the best dessert I've ever had in my life. People would ask me, "What do you want for dessert?" Gurkha Omen.
Gurkha Omen.
What kind of cake is that? Oh, let me tell you. It's more of a smokable cake. If you know what I mean.
You know what I mean?
And they're like, weed? Are you talking about weed? And I'm like, how dare you? That is fine tobacco.
Yeah, it's yeah.
That's a good cigar. The Gurkha Omens are pretty good. Yeah.
It had mainly what we got off of it, like smooth, creamy cocoa.
It was almost a chocolate cake.
Yeah, it was chocolate cake. That's what it was.
The
leather was very silent.
Not even there. Not even there. I mean, it was good. But anyway, go ahead and tell the folks about your first experience, because I can tell it the way I want to, and of course, because of you, I'm always wrong. But
I forget how I lit the cigar. Did we light it with matches?
I don't remember.
Did you have a lighter?
I don't remember.
Because at the time we were pretty much amateurs, and at the time before I even smoked cigars, I got it from Hellboy that smoking with matches was the best to get the full flavor.
Oh Jesus!
Of the whole thing.
Well, I mean, it's right, but
you have to. It's a science. You have to burn the sulfur off the tip, and then yeah.
Anyway,
but I got that cigar. And he was right. It gave me one hell of a buzz. It was that started the experience. I remember I was terrified that my dad would smell it on me, even though my dad would be the least of my worries. He would probably smell it and then go immediately right off of what he smelled, and then go, "So I was smoking the cigar."
And just because Shannon's cool like that, and he's like, just.
It was around this time last year that my family found out that I smoked pipes and cigars.
Yeah,
because it was spring break. I was smoking my pipe with my dad. And
that late summer? Was it late summer of 20? Is that 18? 2017?
20. About what?
No, it was late summer of 2017 when you started smoking cigars.
Oh yeah.
So you kind of patted around for about a year.
It started very quickly now that I think about it. It was like my first cigar I started at like the end of the summer in 2017, and then kind of got me into cigars. I bought my own cigars online because I mainly bought my first cigars. I don't remember if I bought the first cigar with my other friend Bo from the smoke shop, and I bought that $7 cigar that he started us off with, which was a good cigar. I forget what it tasted like. Never had it since, but he said it was a good beginner's one. And then I bought some online from a little store called TNT Cigar for Doc over here, who his wedding party.
Yeah, for my it was my wedding gift.
Yeah,
which he didn't know that you had to get a gift for the bride and groom, but
I didn't.
Hey, she would have taken that too,
and I would have been pissed. Luckily, she had no interest in cigars.
Anyway, but let us set the scene. Dinner is done. Tyler breaks my kitchen chair, and then
It's not my fault your damn kitchen tables were meant for 2 under 150-pound people. Bamboo chairs. Who the hell gets fucking thin bamboo?
They were a gift.
Well, I broke your damn gift. I crushed that chair. And I think you made me sit in the other one, and I ended up breaking the other one.
No, you broke the chair, and then I heard it break, and I thought, oh, God, if he sits in it any longer, he's going to fall on his ass.
And he just looks at me with this dead look.
I said, Tyler, come on over here. Switch me spots, because I don't want you to fall that chair. He goes, okay. I sit in it. Don't move a muscle. And just talking like it was one of the first guys' night. We were just talking, hanging out on my kitchen table, finishing off our beer. And next thing I know, boom, I'm on the floor. I've hit my head on the wall behind me. It just, it was like a cartoon. Not a piece was stuck still together. Just like it was made out of toothpicks, just flattened. It was great.
So now about cigars.
But yeah, anyway, so
kind of getting off that little subject, going on to a next one.
Well, what about what about your story? About
That's
how
pretty much it in the story. I mean,
okay, you don't want to add anything to your first
experience?
Yeah.
I smoked it. I got buzzed. I had a good time.
Right.
I felt
okay,
like
fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean.
You thought I had pixie dust coming out of my ass?
Well, hell, that's what happened to me when I first started smoking. I mean, it was life changing. First puff, I never wanted to go back.
And then he went on to Marlboro.
I'm the Marlboro man.
Don't be a rookie. Don't go from cigars to Marlboros. That's bad.
That's a bad thing. Don't do that. But
that's where you get into the addiction side.
But
yeah, that's pretty much all I have. Do you have anything more about cigars, Ricky?
No, not really.
What's your favorite cigar? You didn't.
Oh, well, that's right. I didn't tell you my favorite cigar. As of right now, because it always changes, right now, my favorite cigar is a Chilling Moose.
I can tell it is. Is it the red or the gray?
It's the gray. It's the gray label. Oh, that is just a good, mild, creamy smoke.
You ever tried the red?
No, because I like the gray too much to even think about getting the red.
Every time we go into the smoke shop, that's almost the first thing that he tries to
That's
get.
the first thing I pick up. I walk straight to the middle of the humidor, pick it up, and go, yeah, that's it. And then I put it down because I'm broke.
Now, some people who like to try cigars, a lot of their first thoughts would be to try acids, which is a Connecticut, and it isn't aromatic. But these are a different kind of aromatic. They spray it with not chemicals, but it's an aromatic flavor like they do with pipes. So they make it a lot more sweet in a way. Almost to where it's edible, especially if you're a first smoker and you don't like the leathery taste of a cigar.
Let me tell you, if you are not a cigar smoker and you really want to get into it, well, not even just get into it, but if you want to be cool around your friends and because all your friends smoke and then they give you hell for not smoking, buy an acid blondie. Okay, you can't go wrong. They're cheap. They're inexpensive. They don't last that long. And let me tell you, y'all, it's like smoking a freaking honey bun. I'm not a big sweets guy. I can barely light the damn thing.
I've only smoked 2 in my life. The first one, I don't remember what it tasted like because it was one of my other cigars, one of the very first cigars that I smoked too. But let me just tell you this: after you get started smoking for a while, you'll start smoking for a while after those acid blondies, and then you'll go on to other cigars if you're brave enough. You'll start branching out. You'll start seeing these other ones. You're like, oh, I wonder how that tastes. I wonder how this tastes. How about this one? And after a couple of months, you go back to those acid blondies. You try one, or an acid blondies in particular, because those things taste like a damn sweet tart. But acid blondies.
Acid blondies, yeah. If you want something you can chew on or just,
chew on would be a pretty good one.
Use to stir in your coffee to sweeten your coffee. Hey, whichever one works for you. I think you'll find good and a lot of different not attributes. What's the word I'm looking for, Talion?
It's a lot of different varieties.
No,
is that what you're thinking?
No, I'm thinking of like effects, like different uses. That's it. Different uses for the cigar. Wow, there's my grammar. Y'all have learned my grammar. I can't talk to save my life.
Well, I would still be honest. Honestly, I would be really interested in trying the other ranges of acid cigars there are out there, because it's literally tasting candy, y'all. You're not even smoking a cigar at this point. You're putting Smarties in your mouth and then lighting it with a lighter.
Sorry, not me. Think of the darkest and the spiciest cigar you've got. I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Yeah, that's good.
That was that $2 Nicaraguan one I found in the smoke shop that me and Dylan smoked once. That one was actually it was $1.50, I think. They're one of it's called their Nicaraguan wheat rejects, I think. And you can tell why they're called rejects because they have veins and stems inside of them. I'm getting a little too into the details. I apologize. Everyone out there is just like, we don't give a shit. Just keep on going. Just talk to us.
Make more prison jokes. I like that one.
Make more prison jokes.
Yeah, make fun of Docky. That was funny.
But those ones put us on our ass. We went back home and we both smoked those. And I think you were at work or something. That's why you didn't come home with us. And we both got knocked on our ass. I'm talking weekday. I had to go to work in a few hours, and I was like, whoa.
You're like, whoa. I don't feel so good.
And nicotine buzzes, they aren't the greatest when you have a whole lot of them.
No, they ain't. They ain't at all.
You think, hell yeah, I got a nicotine buzz at first, and then when you're coming down from it, you crash. There ain't no
hard and fast. We're talking seconds.
Planes with no wheels. It's just like you don't. It makes you sick.
You either died. Or you made it, but you're broken.
Which is why I don't like those Doc cigars, especially Churchills. People who like those, and
I can't even do a Churchill. That's just too much tobacco.
I can't believe I've done those few that I had with you, because I bought him his cigars, which were a bundle of Nicaraguan cigars, and I bought me a bundle of the online TNT stores, their specialty cigars.
Their house blend.
Mainly because they had
cigar.
Several different kinds, and one of them was called Red Dawn.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's why I really wanted one. But Red Dawn was good. Smoked that at his wedding, and there were two of them that gave me such a hardcore buzz that I thought I was going to throw up. I was like, oh my god, this sucks so hard. The fish stick was one of them. No, the fish stick actually got so destroyed because I did not know how to take care of cigars that I gave it to Bo. The entire leaf of tobacco around it.
I was there when he smoked that.
Really?
And the damn thing absolutely unraveled, and the only thing that was left, and he's a garbage disposal. And so he continued. Y'all, it was nothing but the core of the cigar. It was nothing but the body. No binder, no wrapper.
Just looked like he took tobacco and rolled it in his hand.
I was, and it was all,
yeah.
Yuck.
He couldn't keep it lit to save his life. I remember that, and I was like, oh.
But, I noticed you're vaping over there, Talion. So, what's that all about?
Yeah,
what got you into that?
Over there too. Yeah, Doc.
Yeah. But what got you into that?
Mainly, I saw when Jess, my girlfriend, Kyrie, as she's known on the social medias,
the interwebs.
On the interwebs, she vapes, and what she mainly vapes are oils that actually help her lungs and her heart. It's actually medication.
Yeah, that's not what I've seen from when she's buying it.
No, the stuff she's bought here, no, it's not. It's not.
But in Arizona, where that stuff's legal.
Where it's
Utah, where she come from. So Utah, where that stuff's legal.
But I went into vape shops. It's the first time I really went inside vape shops with somebody, and the flavors they had in there just looked so dang good.
So tell the nice listeners what flavor you went with, because it sounded so cool.
Wyatt Earp. I think I mentioned that in the last one. I don't know if I did or not.
I don't think you did. I don't think you talked about that last week. But White Earp was your flavor.
Yeah, I mean, I still have the rest of the bottle off over there, but it is very good.
And I'll tell y'all what, right now, that's Talion was telling me what the boy told him in the vape shop about. Yeah, that White Earp tastes like a good Cuban cigar.
I laughed. I was like,
First,
in my side, I was like,
Cuban cigar, not that all good of a cigar. There's nothing really special about a Cuban, just the name.
I know we shocked a few of you out there who have heard the stereotypical thing about cigars and how you're like, look for Cubans. Cubans are great. No. In fact, if you look online, you'll find many cigar aficionados who say
most of those are government owned by the dictatorship of Cuba. But that's a different story. Anyway, so this boy in the vape shop's like, yeah, man, I've been vaping for some time, and that tastes like a good Cuban cigar. And I would know because I like cigars. And yeah, it's just really good. Yeah. And Talion was over there just like, uh-huh. Okay, sure. Ha ha. You know,
I believe both of us have had Cuban cigars, right? We've had,
yeah, I've had Cuban cigars. Like I said, not that special.
And you got to be sure
I've had better Southern American or Southern American. I've had better South American cigars. Yeah, the Cubans aren't really that good. I mean, just really personally, no. I've had better South American cigars, really.
Yeah,
truly.
I mean, like we said, the Gurkha Oman's almost top of my list. I think it's still my number one cigar. I mean, nothing's topped it so far, but yeah, they basically, Cubans nowadays, they stuff their cigars with grass and hay. Just so,
I mean, not like the whole thing.
No. Of course, it's still tobacco,
not like,
but
it's not like they go, we're gonna sell these to the Americans and stuff this tube full of grass and hay. Woohoo!
Yeah. I mean, they still have tobacco in it. It just tastes like grass and hay. That's the only flavors you get off it. No nutty, no foresty, no oaky, no nothing like that. But it's in long story short, not the best. Don't get sold on Cuban cigars.
And they're not absolutely horrible either.
They're not horrible.
I've had worse cigars, but
yeah.
Just really, the only thing to write home about is that it was a Cuban.
Just don't let them say, "Hey, $200" when they're selling to you on the beach.
Yeah, and that's when you punch them in the face.
And then you have to look at it too, and look at the grooves, and make sure that it's actually Cuban cigars, because they'll sell you fakes. Anyways, going back on to vapes.
Yeah. Anyway, so the boy that Talion was at the vape shop with was like, "Yeah, it's a good Cuban cigar. Yeah, man." And Talion takes a puff of that vape juice that's supposed to be White Earp and good Cuban cigar. Y'all, it's maple syrup.
It even says that in the description on their booklet. I don't know why he got Cuban cigar.
Maple syrup. What Vermont Cuban cigar have you ever had? Oh, hey there, guys, we're just going to have ourselves a Cuban cigar here. I've aged it in maple for, maybe about 15 years now.
Yeah, 15 years now?
It's just, you can't taste nothing else other than the maple, because I've been riding my moose for some time, eh?
Oh, God. Yeah.
Oh, right there, Kevin. Calm down.
It just tastes like maple syrup, just maple syrup. It's delicious. I love it. I absolutely love it. Right now, I have Dragon Slayer, and at first I didn't really like the flavor of just the original Dragon Slayer, so I actually snuck into good old Doc's room and stole a couple of drops of his blueberry stuff. Which tell them what you mixed yours with, Doc, because that stuff is delicious.
So, we went to the vape shop here in town, and they have like a DIY wall where you can build your own flavors. And I used to have this one flavor, that was a lemon and a blueberry, and those are two of my favorite. Those are the top two. My favorite flavors is lemon and blueberry, and
Lemon and blueberry?
mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just love them both. Like even last night, I had the that little lemon blueberry bar from the bakery
that's right.
here, and but anyway, yeah. So I built a juice that was half lemon. It was half lemon bar and half blueberry, which basically turns out to be Captain Crunch.
It's Captain Crunch, bro.
It's full Captain Crunch. There's no doubt about it. It's a good old Captain Crunch. Minus the razor blade and not being able to feel your tongue for the rest of the day.
You guys know how you put a spoonful of Captain Crunch in your mouth and it's absolutely delicious, but after you eat the whole bowl, you realize my top of my mouth is just ripped to pieces.
No, I don't have any gums anymore. I just see teeth. Yeah.
But I mean, now that I talk about it, he hands me his vape every once in a while for me to smoke, and it honestly makes me want to go to the store and buy a box of Captain Crunch. Like,
it's good. It's good.
It's good,
man. I like it. So
it's delicious. But yeah, I mean, honestly, in vaping, it's all the different flavors. It's just the new world, I guess.
Yeah,
that's all that gets me into it.
It's the new age of smoking.
Yeah.
Is it still harmful? Like I said last week, hey, any substance you put in your body is not good for you. Am I going to say it's better than smoking? Maybe. I don't know.
I had one person try to tell me that vaping is bad for you because it's filling your lungs with water vapor, so it's slowly drowning you.
Oh, good.
And I was like,
good.
Our bodies are made of 75% water.
Did you tell the that person? You're like, fun fact. Did you know that pool on the Titanic? It's still full of water.
It's still full of water.
That blows people's minds, man. I don't know if y'all knew that, but did you know that the pool on the Titanic is still full of water? Like, come on, somebody. That's cool.
Wait, is it still at the bottom of the ocean, or that's a whole different topic? I'm sorry, but like I'm curious. I thought
they never got it off.
They never salvaged
it's still
the
there.
Oh, I thought they salvaged
still
it.
There. So, but yeah, I made the Captain Crunch flavor by the DIY wall, and I've fallen in love with it because I used to have a flavor like that before, and I just recently got this new flavor of it. And I'm enjoying it quite well. But like you said, Talion, the vaping is a whole new world. I hate to say that, it might be our generation's version of smoking, but at the same time, I don't want to agree with our generation.
That goes against our future goals in life.
I know that. I mean, that does, because we want to bring back good old tobacco to the world. Not this, vaping's convenient. It is, because you can.
Somewhat convenient. I hate the coil shit.
Oh yeah, the coil stuff and the jute, that's not convenient. Like that part. But like where you can smoke, it not lingering, that is convenient. That is convenient.
I remember the first vape he got, because I thought about getting into vaping a while back.
Mm-hmm.
And Doc gave me his old pin vape and said that it needed a new coil, so all I had to do was go to the vape shop, buy a coil, and that one coil was $13.
Yeah.
But now I recently went to a store and bought 5 for that price.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I thought that was great.
And some might even say vaping's cheaper than smoking, which I would actually agree.
yeah.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
But
especially people who smoke 1 or 2 packs a day.
oh God, yeah. Oh Lord. Yeah. But yeah, that's the story of how he got into vaping.
How'd you get into vaping? That's what I'm interested in because I've never heard that story. High school, did you say?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, high school. We were in wood shop, and vaping was kind of like, it finally hit our town. Our town's like 10 years behind everybody else, but
our town's 20 years behind.
But we're like still a big town. Like, we have 200,000 people in our town. It's a big town, but we're still 10 years behind everyone else. And so my 10th grade year in high school, we finally hit that time of vaping started to be cool, and the vape started circulating, the corners, the dark corners of the school, and
started getting the TABC's radar, stuff like that.
Yeah, people ain't looking at it around here and stuff. And well, anyway, kid had one in wood shop, and he would go into the wood closet and vape in the wood closet and find.
What do you have?
It was just a little pen.
No, like what kind of juice do you
have? Tiger's Blood. Yeah, one of the old.
What a classic.
One of the old originals, Tiger's Blood. Yes, sir. And he went into the wood closet, and you hear stories about your granddads or your dad going into wood shop and going to the bathroom and smoking in the bathroom. Yeah,
smoking in the boys' room.
It's kind of like that, but instead of smoking, we were vaping. Because that was our generation's thing, is vaping. And so
y'all all just shared his vape.
Yeah, kind of. That was the thing. The one guy had the vape, and you would huddle around and
I think some gay sex went on in this closet while you were in there in the darkness. Hey, dude, gonna suck your vape?
What? No, it wasn't in the dark.
Come on, closer.
Oh my God, no.
Come on.
Okay, too much there. Thank you. Those sound effects in my headphones. Wow. No. So yeah, he had a vape, and we all take hits off of it, and we thought we were cool and what else have you. Well, it's like once a week we'd do that. Then it turned into a couple times a week, and then next thing I know, it was every day. It was like, can I hit your vape, man? And then, it was kind of like that. And
how much nicotine did he have in it?
Oh God, it was a pen, so they don't run too hot, so it was 30% nic.
Oh God Almighty! I didn't know you could go that high.
Back in the day when it was non-regulated, 30% nic.
Good Jesus! How long could you go? Could you go like 100% nicotine?
No.
And then you hit it and just go into a new world.
And that's how we never saw him again. No, it was 30% nic, and I mean, like I said, it was like once a week, and then it was like a couple days a week, and then it was like. Then you started looking for him in the hallway and during classes, and you're like, "Oh man,
this poor kid." This was his gum. This was his package of gum in high school.
Yeah, it was.
You got gum?
You got gum, man? Hey, is that your last? Is that your last piece of gum?
Is that your last piece of
gum? Yeah, that was sophomore year of high school, and then.
Is that how you got into smoking in general?
No. Yeah, that's kind of that was me putting my foot in the door. And then it wasn't until the next year when I got my very first one, my very first little pen. That was a joke. God, I hated that. I loved it. I thought I was on top of the world. That thing was a piece of shit. But yeah, it wasn't until the next year until I got my own vape.
Huh.
And I was running off of this thing. It was called Honey's Blues. It was blueberry and honey.
Oh.
It was so good.
Wow.
It was so good.
I see, there's hundreds and thousands of different varieties of flavors out there that I'm just interested in trying.
That was a house blend, and they don't make it anymore.
Oh, wow.
The shop's still open, but they don't make it anymore.
Ugh.
So, and then it just kind of went into all that. Then how I got into tobacco was my 18th birthday. I got a cigar for my 18th birthday, smoked that, and I was doing vaping and cigars. And then I moved out and I bought a pipe and I started smoking my pipe at the house. And it wasn't until my marriage started going downhill is when I picked up cigarettes. I threw the vape away and picked up cigarettes.
Wait, really? Was it really your marriage? I thought you smoked before your marriage.
No.
No, really?
Yep, I'm dead serious. I had like maybe 10 cigarettes before my marriage was going downhill.
I could have swore you bought packs.
Mm-mm.
Wow.
Mm-mm.
Because I remember it was like, when did you, I, and Dylan go and killed that rabbit at your grandpa's house? Was that when you were still married or divorced?
I was in the process.
You were married.
I was in the process of getting divorced.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
When was it?
That was September. No, it's late August, early September.
No, buddy, I think that was before we went on camping.
Was it?
I think it was when we were like March, around this time, April or something last year.
Let me think real quick. No, it was May. I remember now because I was staying at Granddad's because they went to the NRA meeting.
Yeah, that's right. They went to the NRA
so it was
meeting.
May. It was May, yeah.
So
that's the same time that I started smoking cigarettes. It was either May or June.
That's when I saw the pack in your vest.
Yeah,
which is where his marriage started going down.
Which was I was at work one day and my was at work one day and my vape died and coworker was smoking a cigarette and I was like, that's got nicotine in it, right? He was like, yeah. I said, well, do you mind if I bum one off you and try it? And of course, the ones he had were really good cigarettes.
Did you ask if there was nicotine inside of cigarettes?
Okay, it was a bad day because I was working. My vape died, and that day we worked 17 hours. Is there water in that water bottle? No, vodka. I like it, bro.
Vodka. It's vinegar.
Oh.
What? Vinegar. Pussy.
No, but yeah, he gave me a cigarette, and then I was like, oh, that's a good cigarette. That's the only one I really like. Oh, don't get started, Ricky. Here we are months later, and it's been hell quitting.
You know what one thing that is a downfall to vape compared to cigars, though? Cigars have something called, what a lot of you people who want to get into this industry would know, they're called fish sticks, which are usually cheap cigars that don't have a very fantastic flavor to them.
Oh, yeah.
And while you're fishing, you can drop them in the lake and put in another.
But yeah, yeah, there's just bad cigars out there, and there's bad everything.
Yeah.
But and there's bad fishing experiences too. So I mean, wait, do you like fishing, Tyler?
I mean, I haven't gone since I was a kid, so I think the last time I went actually fishing was with my dad and his best friend Steve and his kids. Way back in the day, we went to Greenbell.
I'm so sorry.
And we camped out me and my dad camped out in the tent, and his friend camped out in the RV, which is typical his best friend Steve.
It's a RV camping is a joke.
It's not camping; it's moving your home.
Yeah, that's. Oh, guys, want to take the house down to the lake?
That's how your wife liked to do camping, wasn't it?
And I couldn't stand it. I could not stand my ex. Her entire family loved RV camping. It made me cringe so much when they said RV camping.
Which I have to give it. I mean, when I camp, it's homeless camping. Like, it's bring cans of beans, green beans, and stuff you can cook over a fire on a skillet.
Y'all, when he says homeless camping, like, he brings nothing. He just walks out into the forest.
Son, it's stuff you can prepare if you can't get a fire started. You just open the can and eat it.
That's just called
He brings a gas griddle.
I was born in the 21st century, okay? I like my tents. I like my gas griddle. I like my sleeping bags. But,
I'm going to let you guys know this right now. When we went camping during the summer, when we went camping during this summer to a little lake north of us, it's not a big lake, but it's one of our homely lakes.
It's a good lake. It's a good-sized lake up here in the Panhandle.
But It's one body of water we have for miles.
It's the only one. It's the only one we got, guys.
We talked about going up there camping, and it's been a big topic of our discussion the entire summer, really, amongst us guys and our friends group. And this motherfucker, okay, he brought up the subject that we should sleep in our other friend's tent, Dylan's girlfriend Katie.
Well, mind you, she did say she had an 8-person tent. There was only 4 of us. That is plenty enough room, because when the tent company says there's 8-person tent, it's a 4-person tent.
We would be sharing the tent. We would have to go in and out to change clothes.
And then?
One by one.
Oh, my God. And so this is what... Anyway, this is how it started. This whole thing. We didn't want to bring too many tents. We didn't bring too many supplies. And he's hooping and hawing about this tent situation. But I will give it to him. Thank God we brought his tent, because that little nothing of a tent she pulled out. That little just...
And mine's a minute tent, so I just went...
Just half a minute tent. Oh my! Like, it's a half a man. I don't know how they did it. I don't know. That thing was tiny.
Yeah, it was little. It was bigger. It was bigger than ours, but ours fit us pretty roomly.
No, yours was bigger than
really?
than theirs. Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
One bad thing I hated about that camping trip, but to go on, he wanted to all
make
of us
fun
to
of me
sleep in
now.
the
It's
same
time
camp.
to make fun of me.
Yeah,
now.
I am going to, because he had silverware, we had plates. If my family would have gone camping, if me and my dad would have gone camping, it would have been cans and a Swiss Army knife with a fork in it. If anything,
they would have starved.
What?
You would have starved.
I would have been healthy. I would have been very
Look
healthy.
at you. You could lose some weight.
I could lose some weight, and I could be eating some beans, and that's
Think
protein,
about this.
son.
Look at me. If I lose any more weight, I'm dead.
Yeah, I could
I'm
see
dead.
that, because the amounts of food, the mountains of food we ate in the camping trip weren't enough to sustain your heat stroke that you had,
Hey,
Mr. Outdoorsman.
it was the hottest weekend of the summer.
It was not. It was not the hottest. We were just out in the outskirts.
It was
and he
106 degrees
did not have enough water.
in the shade. It was boiling.
It was kind of weird weather, because when we slept, the wind started blowing, and it started blowing the flaps, which caused us not
And it
to
wasn't
sleep.
until 3 o'clock in the morning, and it dropped down to 75.
That's when it did it, man. It was
80, and we just froze. And then during the day, we boiled.
Yeah, there was a certain time in the morning, early morning, when it would drop down to freezing, because not
Drop down
70,
freezing. It would drop
degrees.
down. It would drop down to 75, 80 degrees.
Just colder than it's been. It was freezing to us, and then as soon as the sun came up, we'd be sitting in the tent sweating.
Mm-hmm.
So we went out.
Well,
and
no,
swam.
because before the sun came over the cliffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we got up. Because me and you were early risers. We got up before them
Yeah.
and made coffee, which I burnt. And then I also realized I don't like rye whiskey, because I thought, hey, I burned the coffee on the percolator. Why not put a little whiskey in there?
I looked at him when the coffee was boiling inside the pot, and I said, Ricky, don't you think it's done? He goes, no. 10 more minutes should be fine. And I was like, Ricky, I think the boiling point is when it's
It was
done.
about 5 minutes too long. It wasn't too burnt. It was burnt, but it wasn't just too burnt.
We had to go into town and get a cup of coffee.
Bitch. I drank the coffee just fine. Anyway, so
No, you didn't. You put a little whiskey in it.
And then I drank it just fine.
I did.
So I put a little whiskey in my coffee, and I thought, that's better. Lying to myself, because it was rye whiskey. I hate rye more than anything. I'd rather drink tequila, to be honest with you. Ooh, rye whiskey makes me cringe. Ooh. But anyhow, so yeah, we went on this camping trip, and this whole summer we were talking about this camping trip. We bought a raft. We brought,
USS Gump.
USS Gump, God bless it. We just talked about it this whole entire summer, and Tyler's talking about the way he wants to camp, and me and Dylan are laughing at him, because it is
You
so
guys aren't men.
it is so stupid.
Everyone who knows how to camp is listening to you right now and thinking you guys are a bunch of wusses.
But the way Tyler explains it, which he can't get through his thick skull.
You mean I camp like fucking special forces?
Okay, this is the part, right? He won't ever let me say it. So, the way I camp is like a 21st century camping scenario where I bring my gas stove, I bring my tent, I bring my sleeping bag, I bring my food that I can cook over my gas stove and enjoy myself. And then Tyler wants to bring a backpack with a change of clothes and some cans of green beans or whatever he wants to eat and cook it over an open fire. Well, to Tyler's mind, that's called homeless camping or green beret or whatever you want to call it, special forces camping.
I mean,
It's called
that's the first time I called
bushcraft.
I'm pretty sure special forces camping is a lot more
It's
intense.
called bushcraft, Tyler. You like to camp bushcraft style. I like to camp, Tyler. That's true. I like to camp, but I like to have a little comfort, okay?
The whole point of camping is to go out into the outskirts, off the land, and then realize, wow, this really sucks ass. I can't believe the pioneers did this. And they did it with no cans. They just hunted for their food.
They didn't do it with no cans. They had to grow their own food. Boo-hoo.
Give it to me. I could have been going primal, and I could just go hunt for my fucking food. When
Yeah, you go hunting. Okay, that's funny.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I really want to reach over this desk and just strangle him right now.
Yo, he thinks he can go hunting. The boy couldn't even watch me gut a rabbit. He was gagging.
If it
When
was
I was
in
th-
if it
when I
was in a
was- when I
survival
was gutting
situation, I wouldn't
a rabbit.
mind skinning a rabbit. I'll think of it as
We'll see. The day will come. Don't worry. The day
we
will
could have
come.
gotten Whataburger that night, but no, you wanted to kill a damn poor rabbit who didn't need to be killed.
That's the freshest meal you've ever had.
See, that's what gets me about it.
And it was damn good,
I
too.
was camping, and it's either between me starving or a little little varmint surviving, I'd kill it. But if we had a choice, I'd be like, well, I don't know.
That's the freshest meal you've ever had.
I mean, I ain't saying it wasn't good.
And it was
That
damn
was
good,
damn good.
too.
You seasoned it real well. Jackrabbit's a little tough for my taste. But
Well, yeah.
I'd still eat it again. I'd say.
I'll still have to get you a cottontail. But yeah, the camping trip, I will give it to Tyler. He surprised me. He really did. Yeah, it was so boiling hot. I did not like it. I had a heat stroke. But
I stayed outside 90% of the time.
you did. You did. And I turned on the truck because I was dying.
Him and
Literally.
Katie got in the truck because they were hot. And me and Dylan sat outside just drinking
And
away.
that's oddly how our next vacation happened. Going to our cabin.
Is that the
Was
same thing?
me and Katie planned it in the truck with the AC because we were
Really?
yeah, because we were like, we want somewhere cold. And I was like, I have a cabin in the woods and it's cold right now. And Katie was like, oh wow, okay. And so that's how
That was a good camping trip, too.
we
Sort of camping trip. I mean, it was staying in a cabin.
I mean,
It was a trip.
it was a trip. It was a little vacation. We needed it.
And then he burnt the gravy.
Yeah, man. I was surprised by Talion's camping experience and to find out that he likes bushcraft, which, oddly enough, I like bushcraft too. I've never had the experience to do it, but I would like to someday to go out and do some bushcraft camping. And, even might have a nice cigar or pipe when I do that. Wouldn't that just be nice?
Going out into the canyon,
Mm-hmm.
having a camping trip. That's what we're going to have to do one of these weekends.
Yeah.
It's getting closer to spring, so.
I mean, it is the first day of spring, actually. It's today. Today's the first day of spring.
Oh,
Would you
yeah,
look
it
at
is.
that? Wow. Yes, sir. I tell you. Well, I guess it's time for us to sign off here. And we're just having so much fun. I don't really want to, and I can see in Talion that he doesn't want to either. But just like every week, we sit around, have a few drinks, a few smokes, tell stories, and just bitch at each other. Because that's what guys' night's all about. It's all about that nice drink, the little relaxing smoke, and having a friend with you. It's always nice to have a friend with you. Before we go, I wanna ask you guys, our listeners out there, just go ahead and comment on the podcast and tell us what you want to hear, or tell us what's wrong with it, what you would prefer to be better with the podcast. Tell us what parts you like.
Your questions.
Questions, if you have any. Yeah, definitely for me and Talion. But I will say, if something sounds weird in the audio, we'd love to hear that so we can come back and fix it. If Talion sounds too bad for you, I don't mind cutting him out of the podcast at all. I'll take over.
He's gotten this whole thing right. He just has his desk set up over there, but I can't get involved in the podcast.
No, Talion, walk away. Walk away.
Go in the room.
Be quiet.
Look at TikTok.
Be quiet. Yeah, look at TikTok. Okay. Doc is recording. Shh. Quiet on the set. So, no, but we'd love to hear y'all's feedback of what's going on and what y'all like to hear, or if you have any questions for us, or what's going on with the audio. But other than that, y'all, I tell you, this is being the second one. It has been so much fun doing this, and
we've gone on a lot longer than our last one.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just how it's going to go.
Yeah.
It's because we're going to get into it and just...
First one was kind of a test run.
Yeah, kind of really. It was really a test run. This one, I was asking Talon earlier, is, do you feel comfortable with this? And I feel like it's more natural. This is more naturally us. This is who we are. Yelling at each other and making fun of each other is really how our friendship goes.
I mean, it's best friendship. I mean, if you're not best friend, if you're making fun of each other, you're best friends, basically.
There's no other way. But anyhow, guys, it has been so much fun talking to y'all and bringing y'all along in our adventure. Just like every week, it's something new. I don't know what we're going to talk about next week, but it's probably going to do with the outdoors, tobacco, or politics. But anyway, from our guys' night to yours, get a shot of whiskey or a nice cold beer. Keep your pipes warm and your cigars lit and your thoughts free. This is Old Doc signing off.
And this is Old Talion signing off as well. Good night, everybody.
We'll see y'all next week. Bye-bye.